India's largest insurer, Life Insurance Corporation, is set to open its initial public offering next week, after being slashed at 60% by the government. It aims to raise 21,008 crore rupees from its 3.5 share of the IPO. This will be done entirely through an offer for sale, or OFS, by the government of India. However, they had been concerned about potential geopolitical issues that could impact the IPO, but has reduced the size anyway because it would still be one of the most expensive in India. So if you want to know more about this, then you have come to the right place. For today's video, exclusive for Fortune Fastlane members, we will be talking about the LIC's initial public offering. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First of all, let us know about our life insurance. In India, life insurance made its debut well over 100 years ago. The Indian population is huge, but some may not understand the need for insurance as much as they should. There's a special Indian company called LIC that has a life insurance plan that might be important to research. So what is life insurance? It is a contract between you and an insurance company, who in exchange for your premium payments will pay a lump sum known as death benefit to your beneficiaries after your death. You decide on how you want your beneficiaries to use the money, so they can invest in their education or pay bills. If you wish, this is a way for them to maintain basic living expenses and find ways of supporting themselves. There are two types of life insurance policies. Term life insurance provides protection for a certain time period, while permanent life insurance, such as whole life or universal life insurance, provides coverage for the indefinite future. How can you choose the right life insurance policy type for you? There are many options when it comes to life insurance, and it can be hard to know which one suits you best. Start by deciding between term life and permanent life insurance. If you're looking for a life insurance policy to cover you for a specific amount of time, term life insurance is the best for you. For example, you might want an insurance policy that compensates you for your working years if you were no longer around. Term life insurance is a good option for individuals with limited budgets, as the rates can be significantly lower than those of permanent coverage. Term life insurance provides protection for a set amount of time, and unlike cash value coverage policies, it is not accessible to the policy beneficiary. And as you enter different stages of your life insurance needs may change. Many term life insurance policies are convertible to permanent policies. The options will depend on your policy and insurer. Term life conversion allows you to switch to a permanent policy without reapplying or taking a life insurance medical exam. Permanent plans will remain in effect until the insured person dies. If you're trying to build cash value, it might be worth looking into purchasing a permanent policy. But if you're using a permanent plan, simply to take advantage of cash value accumulation, you'll pay more for insurance costs than you would if you put your money into savings or an investment account. And cash value isn't typically intended for beneficiaries. Upon death, any cash value generally reverts back to the life insurance company. Your beneficiaries get the policy's death benefit, not the death benefit plus cash value. That said, some policy types will offer the death benefit plus cash value, but for a higher price. Now you might be wondering, how much does a life insurance cost? Of the many factors that can vary one's life insurance rates, one big cost factor will be whether or not you buy a term life insurance policy or a whole life insurance policy. For example, term life is less expensive because it covers death within a specific time period, whereas whole life includes coverage for an indefinite amount of time. But there are different factors that affect life insurance rates. One is age. Younger age groups will pay a smaller price for insurance as their risk of death is less. Another is sex. Life expectancy for females is 5 years longer than males according to the National Center for Health Statistics. This means that men typically pay more money on life insurance than women. However, there are places like Montana where insurers must provide gender-neutral life insurance rates. Your health will also affect your life insurance rates. The insurer will determine how long you're expected to live based on your past and current medical conditions. And a higher life insurance rate can be due to your lifestyles, such as having a criminal record, dangerous hobbies, and a poor driving history. But going back to LICs of India's latest news, the Indian government is backing off from plans to sell government shares of a state-owned life insurance corporation. The reason for this is that the market is spooked by recent events, and it turns out that the government did not really want $3 billion. Bankers working on the long-anticipated deal had expected a 5% float of LIC, life insurance, and asset management behemoth to raise between $6 billion and $8 billion. The city of New Delhi had originally planned to sell 95% of the company before last year's finish on March 31. But now it is selling 3.5% of the stake for as much as $2.74 million, implying that the overall value is less than $80 million. Tuhin Kanta Pandey, the Finance Ministry's Secretary for Divestment and Privatization, believes this is the right size given the current economic environment. India's largest IPO, the LIC, will be the biggest India has ever seen, according to an analyst. Ultimately, the market will decide what this deal is worth, Pandey says at a press conference in Mumbai. The market turbulence across the world caused the US interest rates, and Russia, as well as India's largest IPO, has made it hard for people to have a clear outlook of the situation. The government of India will be selling a limited, regulated number of shares in LIC at a price of 902 to 949 rupees, which is probably about $11 to $12. However, India's former chief statistician, Pranab Sen, said that the market was not at a good point to consider launching a massive IPO. Sen thought that the government is testing the waters with this smaller flotation. This is something they haven't done before, so they're trying to figure out how much the company is worth. India's finance minister has then lowered its financial divestment target to 650 billion rupees, down from its target of 1.75 trillion rupees last year. The government only raised 10% of its goal this year. LIC held a monopoly of selling life insurance in India for almost 4 decades, allowing it to grow. It has assets under management of approximately $495 billion, which is 3 times that of any other life insurance in India. However, there are investors that are worried over LIC's growth potential. Private competitors have been steadily encroaching on its market share, and there is also some worry of political interference. In LIC's February prospectus, it states that the government can require them to do things in order to fulfill their objectives. LIC said that it had an Indian embedded value, which is a critical book value measure for the sector, of 5.4 trillion rupees. The IPO is open for the general public on May 4 and closes on May 9, but it was open to anchor investors that started May 2. LIC employees and policyholders receive special offers in the form of discounts. The shares are expected to begin trading within a week when the IPO closes on May 9. The date for the share listing is May 17, as the government's Investment and Public Asset Management Department announced. The price range set by investor shares is between $11.75 to $12.36 per share. When it comes to the company's policyholders, employees as well as small mom-and-pop investors will have the ability to take advantage of a discount that ranges anywhere from 60 rupees all the way up to 100 rupees. The brokerage firm Zerodha expects to see at least 8 to 12 million accounts open for investors who are eager to open an account for the IPO. This is about a 10 to 15% increase from the current 80 million online trading accounts. On Wednesday, Policyholders subscribed to 3 times the portion they had reserved, while employees subscribed 86% of what they were allotted. The portion reserved for retail individual investors was 51%, and that for institutional investors was 12%. 3% of the quota allotted to qualified institutions was bought. Reports say that the IPO will remain open until Saturday for all categories of investors. Now you might be asking, why does LIC matter so much? LIC is nearly as old as independent India. The insurance company LIC was founded in the 1950s. Lately, it has faced its share of challenges, but through nationalizing and merging with 245 other insurance companies, LIC can list a service portfolio that includes everything from healthcare to agriculture. After the private competition was allowed, the company still holds the leadership position with a 66% market share in 2021. The sheer size of this insurance company makes it a systematically important company for India. The insurance company has a contract base worth of $500 billion, which is bigger than the GDP of several countries, and it has up to 280 million policies, which is 4 times more policies than the entire population of the United Kingdom. Aside from that, it is the largest asset manager in India, with investments in state and central securities, as well as the stock market. The CRISIL rating agency in India has evaluated LIC as having investments worth 4% of the total market capitalization of the National Stock Exchange. LIC is also responsible for funding struggling government enterprises when needed, such as with their bailout of companies like Coal India Limited. The company also owns a sprawling portfolio of real estate across India. With 1 million agents across India and in every small city and village, they sell insurance for the Life Insurance Corporation. The LIC agent is known as the 1.3 million agents in the public consciousness of independent India. Srinivasalu Naidu, a septuagenarian who has sold policies door-to-door for the past 30 years, told the BBC that he was known in his heyday as LIC Naidu, which indicates that he was well respected in his village in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. Agents like him have been critical to the company's growth and mission to build trust and create a savings culture across the remote corners of the country. Naidu said he would make investments for his clients, their kids' educations, and weddings. They trusted that he would make their life savings worth it. UBS, a private bank, estimates that 10 out of 100 rupees saved by Indian households go into the LIC, just more than all deposits successfully attracted by India's largest bank, the State Bank of India. The opposition of Indian government believes it is wrong to sell the family silverware, which is LIC. The opposing politicians feel this company is not being prioritized for its social relevance, but being sold off for the prioritization of shareholders. According to analysts, LIC's issue is valued far lower by the government than that of 3 private peers. There are reasons for this, analysts say, but there is hope that this will change over time. Dr. Shama Mohammed, a spokesperson of the Congress Party, said to the BBC that any moves to disinvest the LIC, a social security net, is unjustified. They should also involve other parties in consultation when discussing this matter. Last month, the Indian government postponed its plan to issue shares in the largest insurance company because of a drop in global markets due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The government had planned for about $8 billion through an initial public offering by selling 5% of LIC to cover its widening fiscal deficit due to intense inflation and decreased growth rates. New Delhi's budget is predicted to continue to worsen, leading to a disproportionately large financial shortfall. However, analysts say that the size and price of the sale are appropriate given the global condition, with foreign investors pulling out $20 billion worth of assets since October 2021. And the Indian government believes LIC's dominant leadership position and fair valuation will attract significant investor interest. Tuhin Kanta Pandey, secretary at the Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, was interviewed about maximizing investment opportunities. He said that even in the constrained environment, it is still possible to pull it off because of the optimum demand scenario. In the long term, a stock market listing improves how the company is run and brings in more transparency. Though LIC has been criticized for being behind the curve on digital marketing, they feel justified in their choice of physical distribution. Analysts do not think this will be enough to keep up with the competitors and predict that their market share will continue to shrink over time. Nikhil Kamath, the co-founder of Zerodha, says that the LIC will need to re-innovate and shift its distribution model so that it can compete in the changing insurance industry. They will have to offer new products tailored to the changing needs of their customers. For some reason, LIC pays their agents twice as much in commissions as private insurers, which is not sustainable in the long run. Also, COVID-19 has had a negative impact on the company. The decline of new business premiums as a result of lockdowns reiterates the need for LIC to create better efficiency through technology. Most of India's population is young, so people have a lot of years left to buy life insurance. Most people in India don't yet have any form of life insurance, so there are plenty of opportunities for growth. According to an analysis by the broking firm, India's protection gap, the difference between the insurance required and actually available, was 83%. This has been identified as the highest in the Asia Pacific. There you have our Fortune Fastlane video for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like this video. If you think that we have delivered value, please share this video with one person. Just one share is enough for you to show your appreciation for the commitment and hard work we all put together in creating this video that teaches and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. And you don't know that one share could go a long way. Keep in mind that no matter how many times you're going to watch this video, you won't see any results unless you take action. See you at the next one.